Shut up and sit down.
Hello everyone, and welcome into a read out short clip here. This is from our latest episode. Hope you enjoy. Of course, the Tops lose to ODU in probably one of the craziest losses I've seen in my lifetime. I've never seen.
People can say what they want about Sanford, but this man knows how to lose in the most spectacular ways I think I've ever seen.
He has gotten us, but to be fair, he's gotten us on SportsCenter more in the last two seasons. One with the falling last year. You guys remember that debacle?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, right? That was on SportsCenter, and it was a great gaffe. And then this year...
Don't forget the FIU punt.
And the FIU punt. Thanks, Jared. I had forgotten about that. I had blacked that out.
I don't see how you can forget that, because wasn't that on the TowelRack's article the other day, Jared?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh, and that was just digging into a sore wound. But with Sanford, oh my gosh, craziest thing I've ever seen. 2 untimed attempts, and my thing is, did nobody learn from the Iron Bowl a few years back? Right?
First thought on that second kick.
Okay, now. The guy's name is, I hate doing this. His name was Mason, number 77. Is it Mason Flock? Is that right?
I can't remember.
I looked him up the other night and I put him in the recap. But he was the player who did the face mask, and I don't blame that kid at all.
For doing the face mask?
It was accidental. His number 77,
that
so
happens.
Yeah, so he's not in that position. He's not doing tackling drills every day. He's just trying to do his job and get the kid out of bounds. My thing is, if you're doing that field goal, shouldn't you have linebackers, DBs on the edge, or wide receivers on the edge, quick dudes out there to catch Isaiah Harper, who has run completely over us the entire game?
You would think.
It's my thought, but...
Sam wrote a really good article on how it wasn't Sanford's fault. And he made compelling arguments in there. As I said in like a comment from our Twitter, the first one, absolutely, yeah, you get that because he had a 30-mile-an-hour backwind, all that stuff, tailwind,
that makes sense.
I totally get it. But when you don't have the leg in it the first time,
supposedly he's making 50 and 60-yard field goals in practice.
But then he didn't.
Supposedly,
he did.
I don't think any WKU kicker has been capable of that. I don't even know if Schwetman had that kind of range.
He never had that kind of range. He was within 38 to 42. He was a laser. I mean, he still is our highest point scorer of all time.
Yeah,
but he never had that kind of leg, like actual boot under it. And this kid, when he kicked, right, they said, okay, he's got all this stuff. Okay, but it still is short.
Yeah.
It still bounces out.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You allowed to do it again. What makes you think that
you're 5 yards closer, though? I'll give you 5 yards. 10 yards, 15 yards, I would have been like, yeah, go for the kick. You got to do it again. My question is, before that, first off, we're 4th and 2 in first or second quarter, and we went for it. Why not just kick the field goal there? In theory, if we had kicked the field goal there, got it, we're up by 3 the entire game. Yeah. If everything else fell into place, and then that last play didn't have. Well, and I'm talking theoretically here, we would have been up by 3, so it wouldn't even been an issue. They would have been the ones having to try and kick a field goal or go for the score.
Yeah, I feel like Sanford's trying to be too much of a hero with some of these 4th down calls. I mean, I know it's a good thing to believe in your team that is capable of doing such a thing, but I mean, sometimes you just got to take the easy points and pray that your defense does something big instead of just kind of being really risky like that.
I mean, Jared, do you think it's kind of like signs of desperation at this point? He's just like grasping at straws trying to save his job?
Basically. I mean, honestly, just trying to get some big play or anything that could be like a big momentum swing to try to actually help them get over the hill and win a game.
See, I don't think
still
that.
Not working.
I don't think that, and the reason I say that, not to cut you off, Jared, is I feel like it would be like me playing Madden, and I'm like, 4th and 2? No, I'm going for it. And then I don't get it, and then I just turn it off and reset. See, that's the advantage I have.
Your opponent has left the match.
Yeah, exactly.
It's disconnected.
Yeah, of course I'm old, so I have to reset it. I have to do the PS2 reset.
Yeah,
so,
that's right, yeah.
But it was crazy. First off, why did we do a run with LaFrance? Theoretically, in that situation, you have your receivers run outs, and then you literally take off 1 to 2 seconds per play. They could do an out, you throw it to them, they're out of bounds. Boom. Next one, out of bounds. Boom. That's 15 to 20 yards right there.
incomplete.
And you get an incomplete. Yeah, and he ran the ball, and I'm like, what is the call here? I just don't understand that.
Well, because he doesn't know how to call passing plays.
Evidently. I love it when stuff comes through when we're talking.
Well, that's what you get for having... This is what you get for not updating your Windows Defender, Dan.
Apparently. Okay, so, Jared.
Yes.
As far as Sam's article, what do you think?
I mean, I kind of understand his logic for the first part of it, but there is no reason they should have tried that second kick because it was pretty bad, the first one. I mean, even if you get a second attempt, he could have maybe put a little more leg into it, but, I mean, still, I don't think that would have done anything at all. No.
I think you have to go for the field goal there. You don't take it into overtime. I know people are joking, saying Sanford has never lost an overtime game.
Still true,
but he's only played one. And Sanford, being the Oedipus of with the football gods, is cursed by not winning. Apparently, so I don't know. You have to go for it because of the fan base, but at the same time, it's like you got to stop them. You got to stop Isaiah Harper after it.
I mean, I can see both sides, right? I think if you can't put the leg in it and you don't want to go into overtime, I mean, we had them run it back to the 17 anyways. Yeah. Bomb it. See what happens.
Could go for the fake field goal there. That would be the biggest play ever.
If you make it.
And then we would botch that and it would end up on the Sports Center again.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's what I was about to get at, was at this point, and this is like just coming as I never defend Sanford, but I do get it. Like at this point, so like you said, like going for it on the fourth down, right? Not taking the points. If he'd went for it and gotten it, and that had ended up in a score, right? Then people would have been like, oh, yeah, he's got balls. Rah, 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 rah. At this point, he's lost so much and has so little capital left with the fans that anything he does, if it doesn't work, he's host. He absolutely is host.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we should treat him with kid gloves, because I definitely do not. But it's his fault he's in the situation. But I do get now, like, that other side of it, that if he takes a chance, if he does something that might not be the most strategically sound, if he, it's crazy, but maybe if it works, it's fine.
It's more kindling, really. I mean, it's more firewood to say, it's like, well, he didn't go for it on 4th and 2, throw that in the woodpile.
Yeah, he's a sissy. He doesn't have balls.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
He's blonde, throw it on there. You're just like, what else?
He loves to skateboard.
Well, I'm not really going to preview FIU. I just want to talk about how we're going to lose this game.
Right.
In the most spectacular fashion possible.
Yes, we're going to look fantastic.
It was like suck for luck. Like, what do we have
to
just be trash?
I will say, as awesome as it is that they're doing the W helmets this week.
Well, wouldn't it be better if we were in the positive in the wing column?
I know, right? It's just like, can we just skip this?
Jared, do you like the wing Ws?
Yeah, I think it looks really nice. It'll be interesting to see what the actual uniform combo looks like with it, but it'll be nice. But if it translates to wins, I think you got to keep it for the rest of the season.
Agreed.
If it doesn't, then, I mean, what else is new?
Yeah, try something else.
Now, see, my thing is with the W's, they need to have that kid that does the paint commercial on ESPN Plus for Western. He needs to paint every helmet.
Yes.
And then they need to film it and just have that brush go by.
Yes, I agree. We made fun of that commercial so much in the Ball State game. They're like, why is he...
Yeah, the game we watched together, I think we need to do that because we won.
That's true. It's all our fault, Devin.
Well, this week the game is on the BN network. Is that right?
God, yeah.
And it's awful. Of course, I don't have it, so I'm not even going to try. Some quick stats. The quarterback for FIU, Jay Morgan, from Morgan & Morgan, he's thrown 1,597 yards, 16 TDs, 4 interceptions this year. So, if he throws 4 touchdowns on Saturday, we can look for an interception. If we go by the averages.
Positives. If he hangs 28 on us, we'll at least have 1 pick.
Yes, exactly. Another positive, Shanley has got the start. There is no or.
About time.
I mean, amen.
They should just stick with somebody, for the love of God.
Completely agree. According to the stats that I've got, it looks like FIU they throw the ball as much as Western per game, per average.
Interesting. That was an excellent dog burp. That was totally the dogs.
That was a great.
Yeah, that was the dogs.
Jared's over here clapping.
Thanks, Jared. Rushing yards, they actually do about 173 yards a game, where we're about 119. I don't know how we got to that many. But we're over 100 yards a game this year. So that's another positive. I guess we can pull off the woodpile for Sanford.
That's true.
We're going to lose this game. Let's not kid ourselves.
I was surprised we opened up as only a 3.5-point dog.
Well, is it up to 5 now?
Is it? I don't know. I saw earlier today it was 3.5. It might be 5 by now. I just think it's funny because you can tell like Vegas isn't paying attention at all.
Yeah, and don't you get 3.5 just by being home team?
Typically, it's 3 for being home
game.
So
there's a half a point there.
It's pretty much a pick 'em. I fundamentally disagree.
Dude, we're at the bottom right now. I think actually sitting there looking at the stats today, I said we were going to lose the rest of the season, but I honestly think we might beat UTEP. Maybe.
That's the only possible game I think we can get at this point.
I agree. UAB is ruling the West, and that is... Have you seen their numbers?
Yeah, didn't they just beat North Texas?
Oh my God, they crushed North Texas.
This is pretty wild.
I don't have the stats in front of me. Well, actually, I might here in a second.
But yeah, no, I just, when I was looking at like Conference USA, like how I did last week, because I was just depressed and not paying attention, I saw that some people had some big wins. I was like, oh man, UAB's rolling.
Okay, I said crushed. They beat them 29-21.
I mean,
so I wasn't crushed, but
I love when you win by like 8 points. That's such an odd number to win by.
Yes, or when you get a safety because you're holding in the end zone. Ugh. Was that not? I just, as soon as I saw that, I went, dude, that is the most obvious hold in the history. I couldn't put Jake in a bigger headlock and get a holding call. I mean, that's all it looked. When I saw the replay, I went, "Are you kidding me?"
You're like, good. Jared, how are we going to lose? Besides the most spectacular way, give us one.
All right, I don't know if this will actually happen, but I feel like it's very possible. It's going to be a tie game, like always. Fourth quarter, we're going to have the ball at the 1 yard line, about to pound it in. Like 3 seconds left in the game. Shanley's going to do a QB sneak, but fumble the ball, and it gets returned for 99 yards, and that's how the game will end.
You know, that would get us on SportsCenter again.
Oh, gosh.
Can we just become like the Cubs of...
The Cubs of SportsCenter?
of college football? Is that okay?
The saddest thing in the history of last year. Yeah, oh my gosh.
I don't know. 0-20, whatever, was pretty bad.
The only thing I wish would happen is that some girl would sleep with Sanford and do a selfie and put it on Twitter.
Right.
So we could toss him and not have to pay the buyout.
Yeah. No, look, here's the deal. I said at the beginning of the season that the basement of this team was 4 and that the ceiling was 8.
And were we wrong?
Not only were we terribly wrong, it can get much worse. But I also said, look, I don't think WKU finds the money to pay him.
No.
However, that was prior, and I know that the donation also went to, because it went to football and didn't go to volleyball and softball as well. Jared, am I missing any sports?
I'm not entirely sure about that.
It definitely went to other sports besides football, but football was included.
Yeah, Jared agreed with that.
If you, right, he confirmed. He's got the thing in front of him. If all of that does not go to Sanford's buyout,
sorry, I've got
AD malpractice.
Yeah.
If it is at all possible, I do not know how that bequeathment worked. I have not read that donation. I know you can tie strings to it. But I have to tell you, if it was just, hey, football, here's $600,000, should go.
Yeah.
You can find the other 6.
Here's my thing. Okay. Like we figured up, I think, I don't know if it was on the show or not, but anyway, the seats that basketball's getting, they're going to get like, what, $800,000 we
like
estimated.
You call those the Sanford seats, yeah.
Yeah, and those are going to be the Sanford seats.
Plug that with the other one. And you're done.
So you plug those, and then you take part of the money, and you buy Sanford out.
Yeah,
that's all that's got to happen.
I think you have to pull the trigger. 1 win, even 2, you got to pull the trigger. It's an epic meltdown. There's no improvement. You're not going to have. I know because Fletch was talking about this on. I don't know. At one point, he was saying, even for the Conference USA Championship the second time around, we had 13,000 in the stands. So, yeah, that's true. But also cold and rainy, and in the middle of basketball season.
Yeah.
Having the last game at home the ODU game had they announced 13,000. Jared, do you remember?
They announced 13,000, but I don't know.
It was definitely not that.
Well, see, I will say that WKU has done historically a pretty good job of the ticket sales to actual reporting. Mm-hmm. 93, 97% accurate according to New Times.
It was one of the most accurate in the country.
We were number 3, but as far as people there in the second half, it definitely was more 3,000 probably.
Well, my thing is, if you look at some of the pictures on Twitter and other places,
it was bad.
There was nobody there. Now that could be partly them manipulating and making pictures of certain spots.
Well,
But
that
it's like,
and a lot of the pictures that you see are not like kickoff.
No.
Or like 5 minutes after when everybody gets in. They're like throughout the game. And even though it was, it was a good game up until the end and there was kind of a lead and all this stuff, students are going to leave and get drunk, which makes me sad because that's what we just got drunk there because they sell beer. But whatever. And two, I know that Western fans leave, but at the same time, I do think this will translate into lost revenue. I mean, I know my company has spent money with WKU for an ad deal, and we're definitely losing revenue on the football side, so they're like making up in comps on the basketball side, which I won't get any details about that, but still, like, we put money into them, and that value is now lost. So they're going to have advertisers start pulling. They're going to have seats aren't going to be in there as much. There's less concessions. You're talking less merchandise. I mean, it's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And at what point, and I know this has been like it's kind of a cliche, they've said it with Bobby Petrino, but it's the same thing at Western. It's like, okay, when can you afford not to fire him? When does that balance come out? Because if you don't sell anything next year, if season ticket sales drop off, all this stuff, if it all goes down the crapper, you're going to lose money.
Here's the thing. If we were 3-3 right now, if we were any other record besides 1-6, I think you have a justification to say there's no reason for these people to leave.
Yeah.
These people look at this game and they say, we're 1-6 and ODU's up, peace out, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And they're not going to hang out. There's no reason for them to stay. So I don't blame them because I know how it is leaving, trying to get out of Western after a football game.
This park is up on the hill.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. That's what I do too, though. It always works good.
Just park up by Cherry and go out the back end.
That's what I do at every basketball game, and it's like so convenient.
It's not like Western's got a huge campus.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about that, but I don't blame them for leaving though.
And all the season ticket holders, they are in like the two parking structures, so that is
right there next to it, which is so frustrating too. But anyway, like I said last week, financially, Todd Stewart's going to have to make the number crunch it and say, A, as soon as the season's over, we're going to make the call, or B, we'll give him another year, and next year we'll make the call.
Yeah. My question is, how many lottery tickets did Todd Stewart buy yesterday?
Oh my God!
A basket full.
He bought about He bought about $400,000 worth.
Yeah.
Of
Hey, if he bought one in Louisville, he won a mill, so he cleared 6.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that was crazy.
The Louisville dude? Or
no, I'm talking
South
about
Carolina.
Somebody in South Carolina obviously won the $1.6 billion.
After everything, they're going to clear about 5.3 billion.
5.3?
500.
Well, I mean, obviously $530 million.
Yeah,
I realize that.
Is about what they're going to clear.
I didn't think they were going to get $500, but
no, sorry, no, I didn't. Well, I thought you meant maybe I meant like 5.3 million.
No, I knew it was going to be. I thought they were going to get a lot more than that before tax. But.
Well, because you take, so it's 1.6 as an annuity, paid for the rest of your life, or the lump sum, which is significantly lower, and then taxes come out of it.
Now, here's my question, and I don't know if you know this either, Jared. This is the randomness of our show. Do you get paid weekly or do you get paid monthly with that check?
I have no idea.
I assume it would be monthly, but I'm not entirely sure either.
Okay, so, and of course, according to my wife, who's done the research, you get paid over 20 years is the, quote, lifetime.
Oh, okay.
So, you said 500-something mil?
Yeah, just say 5.5.
We'll say, okay, well, I'm just going to do a round number. 500 million.
Yeah.
Crap, hold on, 20... I got to do some math in my head here, guys. 240 months. Okay, so 500.
That's why I didn't go to econ school.
About 240. You're looking at $2 million a month. That's not enough to live on. Okay, I'm just saying. You would have to. Everything would have to be so tight. You'd be eating out of Campbell's soup cans. It's just awful. But. Seriously, though.
Think of how preposterous that amount of money is.
Okay, so I heard this on another show earlier, and I don't care to do it again. Do you do it anonymously? Or do you... I don't know if
I would totally do it anonymously. I wouldn't want anybody to know that I got it unless it was, like, family or something, because I don't want all these people showing up at my doorstep. Like, hey, you're my third cousin on your dad's side, twice removed. You owe me, like, a bunch of money, remember?
And then I would say, okay, so just take 2 steps to the left there. Yep, just keep stepping.
So you're going to have like a Mr. Burns button until they just drop out?
Release the hounds.
Release the hounds.
Jake, you can't do that. You know the kind of lawyers that I can pay on $2 million a month.
Well, here's my thing. Okay, so you got.
I gotta hire the ghost of Johnny Cochran for that kind of money.
You get $2 million a month. Here's my thing. If I don't know if Kentucky lets you do it anonymously or not, but if I'm getting it, I'm gonna be like, I only want $1 million. I'm just gonna lie. I'll do it anonymously and just tell my family I only want $1 million, and then I'll be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna give you 10,000. You're gonna get 10,000. You're gonna get 10,000, and then it's gonna be like, a month later you'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm all out of money.
Yep, sorry.
And then they'll be like, oh, and you fly in with your helicopter the next time, and they're like,
gold-plated helicopter.
What the?
Like some Saudi prince.
Oh, I'd totally like Goldfinger that and just be like the gold guy. I'm gold.
I love gold. The blints in the blunt. Smoking a pancake.
But
they're so pleasing.
Even if you do, love it. Even if you do anonymous, people's gonna know. They gonna know you've won something. You pull in with a Lambo, and they're like, what'd you do?
You know what's wild though? I wouldn't even buy a Lambo. I think I just buy like a new Tundra.
Yeah, I'd probably buy a new vehicle or pay off my own vehicle or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that'd be about the only splurge.
Yeah, I don't need
a lot, to be honest with you.
Of course, money is no real object, though, then. And that's another thing I heard was, I know we're going off on a complete tangent here.
It's fine.
It's important.
The super wealthy don't see fines or if you get in trouble, they don't see it as you getting in trouble. They see it as the price to do stuff.
Yeah, it's just the cost of doing that.
Yeah, so if you pull in a handicap spot and get a ticket, they're like, well, it's the cost of parking in a handicap spot.
Yeah, that's just how much it costs to do that.
That's just how much it costs to park here. And you're like...
Yes. See, if I won the lottery, I would pull my car into the house, get as close as I can to, over by the student section, and just sit on top of my car for the game.
Yeah. I could see Todd walk over...
What do you mean I can't park here? What?
Go away and just throw a wad of hundreds at him.
Todd, do you want some of this money or not? You better let me park here.
I could just see,
Can I park in Caboni's spot?
I could see Sanford walk over and he's like, hey, you can't do that. You throw the money at Todd and go, get him out of here. Okay, he's gone.
You take a squirt bottle, get out of here.
I'd be like Joel Embiid last night after Andre Drummond got ejected. That was classic. Get that man out of here.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the clip from our latest episode. Subscribe for our weekly Read Out podcast. And always remember, go Tops.